And all those people are wrong. And there is only one who gets there, and this person access just one information, and nobody could access that. And this person could clarify, and this person is the unique person. This is the enlightenment mental wedge that enlightens the people's ideas. Here on page 17, I could not understand about the item liberty, the verbons, that takes over of the interphysical consciousness tacitity, or the opposite. What is the condition? I think this condition or question of verbon and consciousness is something that are related. The truth are in the cosmos, and it's a matter of assessing or not. It's a movement that comes from the consciousness in order to access this truth. And there is another movement that is the opposite. For example, we have an extraphysical helper, and this helper has the truth or the verbon, and this extraphysical is going to inform you or inform the consciousness. So I think it's a double way. So in the same sense, the extraphysical center of truth would just receive consciousness. You have to have a minimum of condition to access an extraphysical center. Otherwise, anyone could access and everything would be okay, correct. We have a lot of problems. We have emotional conditions that make difficult for us to access those truths. On the seventh line of pathology, the validity of the hypothesis compared to the deduction of the experience. Here you have, for example, you have an hypothesis, and until a certain point it is a hypothesis. And in the other side, you have this hypothesis confirmed through a deduction that you have from an experience. So this experience had happened already, and you have a reality related to that. So this hypothesis changes when you have the confirmation, the experimental confirmations, the demonstration. The technical demonstrations hits all the condition, and there is a law that comes from this result. But the problem is the facial of the hypothesis. Or you are looking to the camera, don't forget about making gesture with your left hand, you know. We have a combination here. It's a technique. It's a Italian technique. It's Alcadipani's technique. It works. Those. Here on letter A, in the fourth item of pathology, the indestructible procedures of the cosmos, proceedings. This expression comes from Professor Waldo. It's within the Encyclopedia of Conscientiology. And the information that we have is that, and I consider this an information a very important idea that you consider that any fact or perfect will never going to disappear facing the cosmos reality as a whole. Your acts, in certain moments, they are going to be forever related to the cosmos as a whole. It's indestructible. Nobody's going to erase that and even come back to time and change what has occurred in the past. So, related to the truth. It's very interesting, this concept, because the indestructible proceedings, they reveal, they encompass the realities and the truth of the element. It's the subconsciousness, the collective in consciousness from Jung.
Então a coisa fica mais clara se pensar por aí. Esse é o caminho. Quem mais está com o microfone?
So who else has got the microphone?
Você sabe, doce quer dizer doce.
Doce means sweet, you know, in Portuguese.
Aceita qualquer
She accepts everything you say. Waldo, that question I asked about the cosmoethic lie and the dissimulation. This cosmoethic dissimulation technique, how to deal with it, how to develop assistance, what are the criteria you use to apply it? This is for Professor Waldo.
Dissimulação cosmoética.
Cosmoethic dissimulation. It may be necessary for you to present yourself as an ignorant person. If you start talking to someone like Mr. Know-it-all, he or she may not accept. For example, when you want to talk to a child or an adolescent, you should have code switching, you know? Code switching. So use some slangs with youngsters. You should see the cosmoethics of your intention by acting like that. You as a doctor, me, Pedro, we are doctors. We are not always able to explain the patients right when they ask us to do so. We know many things, but we can't say everything. This is the simulation. So it's different between lying and omitting. To lie with bad intention is something different from some truth omitted. But there must be a time when clarification comes. And when you speak the truth to some people, they may have a stroke. And it's a big problem. Waldo, the Serenissimus camouflage is just like that, isn't it? Yes, and they do that not to make an evolutionary rape, because we can do that. And this is bad, because it can become negative. We should study the reach, the depth. And based on Penta, Waldo, the helped person doesn't know you are helping him or her. And you meet during the day, and they don't know you help them. And you usually help someone you were chasing, and they just feel a relief, but they don't know where that help came from. Waldo, when you're talking about making the rapport, you feel the pattern of energy of the consciousness, right? And you make a connection. We should always be prepared to make a French leaf. You need to change all of a sudden. You need to have psychism for you to renew your speech and change block. That's what I call tachyarrhythmia. There is also an entry about that. We have debated it. Tachyarrhythmia. To walk fast and change blocks very easily. People who take too long to change, to shift blocks, they create problems. For example, when you assist, when you attend people who are euphoric, you should be calmer and make an average, like a balance. Yeah, there's no way out. Sometimes you have to do consolation task to reach clarification task. Waldo, in an extraphysical rescue, when you have to disguise, to use customs, you need to use many dissimulations, right? Yeah, like a camouflage. Euphemism, like a makeup. Huge horizons open before us every day. I believe that in future eras, medicine will be integral and multidimensional. A group of intraphysical physicians will attend physical pathologies, and extraphysical ones will help in extraphysical pathologies. If this is possible, could you elaborate on this on these advanced ideas? Well, these things already happen. They take place in two instances within the Conscientiology universe. One of them is in consciential therapy, and the other one is in Penta practice. During Penta, it already happens, and consciential therapy also happens. Though this is already happening in consciential therapy and Penta practice. These are only two instances. And in Penta, there's only one person, but in consciential therapy, there are two people at least. Page 16, third line, Conscientiology. Unveiled and invisible reality. Third line. Invisible reality and unveiled reality. Well, here we have the problem of the cosmovisiology. There is a crescendo between a given reality that you don't perceive, therefore it's invisible, and the unveiled reality in the sense that it's perceived, it's apprehended by a person. We consider this a crescendo because it shows, let's say, a gain of cosmovision, of those who are accessing what was hidden before and what's explicit now. If you have a parapsychism, what's the best way to use the disbelief principle before a new weapon? First, the disbelief principle is for you not to believe a thing for free,